Life gets better by change, not by chance. Episode 21. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Life Gets Better by Change, Not by Chance. This is our episode 21. My name is Tara, and please help me welcome my two co-hosts, Sevit and Jackie. How are you guys? Thank you.
How are you?
Tara, thank you.
We've got an exciting interview today. A fellow Sydney sider, a full-time dad, and a full-time accountant by profession, running this online business for the past 2 years. Please help me welcome Ameen. Hi, Ameen.
Hello,
How are you?
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah.
So good to be
Hi,
here.
Ameen.
So good to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
No, it's
Nice
our
of-
pleasure that
Very
you
nice
took
of you
out
to
the time.
join us, Sydney Sider.
It's my pleasure. Sydney, not so good in lockdown, but everything else good.
Absolutely.
Melbourne, go Melbourne.
Yeah. Where do you want to go, Tara? Under lockdown again?
I'm happy in Melbourne.
Not fun at the moment. We were making fun of you guys. Now it's come back to us. Karma.
Yeah.
Karma. for
That's
sure.
right.
I guess, welcome, and thank you for joining us on this interview. I guess the first question I probably thought of when I heard your story, the fact that you are an accountant by profession, you're still working full time was, I do the same thing as well. I work full time. So, what were your reasons for looking for extra income or generating revenue on top of your full-time work?
See, I'm originally from Sri Lanka. Two kids. When we initially migrated to Sri Lanka 10 years ago, our kids were very young. They are now in their teens, but they were very, very young. And we had no one in Australia, for that matter, that we knew. There was only one friend that we knew in Sydney. So we made that very painful decision at that point in time. I didn't want to migrate. My wife was so enthusiastic about the migrating. I had to tag along, right? So I was the kind of the dependent spouse. She applied for the PR. She came. I was the dependent spouse. I was like, okay, whatever. Because so we had very good established jobs in Sri Lanka, accountants and things like that. So as in the case of any migrant who will move to a new country, you have to start everything afresh, right? So we were like, whatever life savings that we had, we brought it here. Exchange rate was not so good for us anyway, so we had to work so hard. Finding that first job in Australia itself is a challenge as a new migrant. We had to work really, really hard to kind of establish ourselves in Australia when we first arrived. So Xenia and I, my wife Xenia and I, we were like working continuously without a break, and we rented a small a unit and things like that. So life was okay, but then it was not the Australian dream for us. And then at the end of the day, we also had our siblings and the parents back home in Sri Lanka who were expecting us to support them as well. I think it's same. I think probably it's common to a lot of migrants. They have their people back home that they need to support. So 10 years in Australia, we thought, hey, this is not gonna do any good for us because we were working continuously, no vacation, struggling to go on a vacation. 4 people, there's a lot of money and things like that. So we wanted to basically, firstly, we wanted to see how do we retire early, from the jobs that we do, because we knew at that point in time, we kind of realized working full time until 65. Which is the retiring rate in age in Australia, it's not going to help us. I mean, and then having a job only, it's not going to help us retire at 65. So we wanted to retire early and still be able to help our parents back home, build the Australian dream, new home, and also support our kids for their education and things like that. After all, we brought them. I mean, they wanted to come. We brought them for a better life. So that's kind of the turning point where Xenia and I said, hey, look, we need to do something. We need to look at some other option. We can't continue to work 9 to 5, and all being accountants. I think it was more than 9 to 5, month-end closes and things like that, reporting, and it goes on, and the commute as well. So we made the decision, let's do something, a side hustle where we can start small, build it over a period of time, and if it clicks, then that means we would work for another 5 years or 10 years, build it, and then we can actually retire from our normal 9 to 5 jobs and then spend that time with our kids, and having that additional income, we can help our siblings and the parents back home and relatives. We can do more for them, and then of course we can spend more time with our kids. I mean, that's one of the there are so many reasons why we did it, but then we did it for ourselves.
Absolutely. A story that so many of us can relate to, I guess. Absolutely.
Yeah. Many migrants can relate to that story. Huh?
Absolutely. All of us.
Yes, and it's expensive. Things are getting really expensive, and you need to look for a second or third income stream, or else people are living paycheck to paycheck these days, with all the uncertainty in the world. So, I mean, tell me, why online? I mean, you decided to look for a side hustle. You could have done anything, but you decided to step into the online world. And why this business community?
Well, initially we had no plans to do anything online because Zina and I wanted to start our own business, something like accounting and tax. And then we realized if we do something like that, we were going to end up in the same soup that we were in. We will work longer hours than what we do in a job if we own such a business, where you have to keep your establishment open, talk to people, and then make sure we support them and work on weekends to reduce your workload and things like that. So when we started looking into options, what we saw while being online on Facebook most of the time, connecting with our friends and family back home, is that a lot of people, more and more people, were jumping onto online because it looked very flexible. I mean, you had a global reach. You can, control, manage your business from the comfort of your home. And with the advent of the smartphone, things have become so kind of mobile. You can carry your business on your smartphone as well, right? So it was kind of being employed full time and having that kind of flexibility where a business which can be worked around our normal office lifetime, that was something that kind of suited best for us. That's what we kind of decided, saying that, hey, we can't do another job, we can't do another business that needs physical space, and plus you need a lot of money to invest on the renting stuff and things like that. So we thought, hey, something that can be started with a minimum of capital, and then something that you can work around your normal work life. Was and we figured out online was the best option to do that. And then I think while we were talking about this, one day I suddenly see this. I don't know whether Apple was listening to me. I saw that in the an advertisement from a lady. She is also in Sydney. Mimi, shout out to you if you're watching. Thank you for appearing on my wall. So I looked at it. It says about, hey, no sale, you don't have to have inventory, you don't have to do cold calling, you don't have to have parties and give away samples and things like that. You don't have to do shipping, delivery. I'm like, I'm an accountant who's hopeless in selling. So I would like to do a business that does not involve selling. I was so curious, what is this business that does not involve any active selling? So I got in touch with her, and then I got more information from her, and then watched the webinar, and then more I talked to her, and then I watched 2 or 3 webinars after work, and then kind of started convincing myself, okay, this is the opportunity that I've been looking for. So although my wife was hesitant, she was skeptic at the beginning, I was the one who pushed. Like, she pushed me to migrate to Australia, I pushed her to start the business.
Now you're even.
That's how we are even. That's how we actually jumped in. That's why I decided, because the community was amazing. People are real. I mean, we could relate to a lot of people. Those people who appeared in the webinars and the people that we see in our community, they are just like us. Most of them are migrants, and they have the same family background, same motives, same why. So we thought, okay, if they can do it, why can't we do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's been 2 years. Is your wife is convinced now? No more skeptical?
No. She's she converted a few months afterwards, and when I started really slow, and she started pushing me. Why aren't you doing this? I was doing this stuff. So she's basically she's the better accountant of the two of us. So she manages the finance stuff, the admin stuff, and then I'm the face of the business actually. So it's been really good. So she's convinced, and she's supporting me a lot behind the scenes on the job.
I think it makes easy for us to, when we both husband and wife are working on the business, it's easy to scale it faster. And at the same time, I think it's better to have a skeptical mind. One of you had a skeptical mind, so you might have asked a lot of questions to coach, to the mentor, and you might have digged more to find out if this is not a scam, if this is not something which I end up wasting my time and money in.
Absolutely. Being skeptic is very important. Being skeptic serves a good purpose, because then you are pushed to find more information, and because you have to convince yourself and you have to convince your wife or your partner. So then you need to do a lot of searching and looking into it, get more information and things like that. It's not a bad thing being skeptic, but if you be skeptic and if you don't take in action, that becomes the worst thing.
That is the word, action.
Action. Being skeptic is good, but then if you don't take action, nothing's going to change, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life gets better by change.
That's correct.
So I guess it's very nice to hear the story, your story, and like I said, it's a story that everyone relates to. For everyone else that's out there watching this, who wants to do the same thing, who possibly wants to be at home with with their family, or have a side hustle, what's your advice for them?
I think in terms of starting a business on the side, you have to start it when you are employed, because the moment you lose your job, your focus is finding another job and trying to survive rather than starting another business. That would be the last thing in your mind, right? So it's always better to start something on the side, have that plan B while you are employed and while you have a steady stream of income, so that you can slowly invest time and money and build the business parallelly, slowly, and then later on you can transition. I think as you guys said, if you want to change in your life, you have to be the change. A lot of people still complain, my life has not changed, it's the same thing. How would it change if your input is the same? If you are doing the same thing over and over again, of course the output is going to be the same. So you have to look at differently. The world is changing. I mean, we were so glad when we joined before COVID happened, and all of a sudden after a few months this COVID came, and we were talking to ourselves, how lucky were we kind of had a head start. With the lockdowns and things like that, a lot of people can't even step out of the home, and most of the people are doing jobs where they need to go out and physically go out and do their jobs. Because of the lockdown, people have lost that opportunity. So it's easier for us to say, hey, stay safe and stay home and stay safe, but then a lot of people can't afford to do that. They have to go out and do the jobs. What we've seen, in the internet space is internet is probably the only thing that has not seen any lockdowns, any restrictions over the last 18 months or so.
Yes.
I mean, undoubtedly, it's the best place to do any business in the modern day. And the world keeps changing. I believe more and more people will start moving into online space, and then it is the best time to jump in. A lot of people think there's so many people, maybe it's too late. Internet is so young and there's enormous potential. If you look at social media, there's billions and billions of people who are on the social media, and then enormous amount of trade and sales and business happening on the internet. So that's the best place to be. And for those people who are still thinking, I think it's time to take action. Start slow, and build it over a period of time. Don't wait for that exact 100% opportunity. That's not going to come. The opportunity, 100% accurate and complete opportunity is not going to come. You just have to grab what you see and then make it 100% for yourself. I mean, you just need to take action. Change comes within you. If you don't change, nothing will happen.
That's true.
Yeah.
So when is it safe to say that you can you have a rough idea of when retirement is going to be for you and your wife now?
Hopefully another 3 years time. We still want to work. We still want to work, but we will probably jump into something else, and something that can be done in our spare time, and but we don't have to work a lot and work long hours and things like that. So it will be something that we will love and enjoy as well. But most definitely, we hope to retire within another 3 or 4 years time.
Oh, that's fantastic news.
Well done.
That's good. Thanks, Ameen. Thanks for doing this, and thanks for sharing all the insights about your journey, about you, about your wife, the reasons, the actions. Because it's important for people to understand that we all are same. We are all working hard for a better life for ourselves and our family.
Absolutely,
that's the whole reason we are doing this. Yeah, go ahead.
And for those people who are skeptical yet and who are watching this and following, we appear in our business in our personal names. We don't kind of hide behind a fancy corporate name or something like that. And my business page and your business pages and whatever, we come on social media representing ourselves. We do it because we 100% back the business we do, and it is legitimate and it's real. If it was not, I would personally not put myself in front of there with my wife and my kids and share my personal journey with people if I didn't trust the business and if it is not real. So people will have to take account of that, and they just need to talk to us, contact, and we'll be happy to help anyone who's willing to take that action. We can take the horse to the water, but we can't force them to drink. The action needs to come from them. So, but when they decide to take action, we are here to support them any way we can, right? That's the good thing about this business. The huge community is supporting each other, like amazing. I have not seen it anywhere else.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. That's like, this is the 21st interview we are doing, and every single person had said the same thing about the community.
The community, yeah.
So it's very difficult to find this kind of a community on online space, because so well organized, so well connected. Everyone is trying to uplift everyone around them. So that's important. Thanks, Ameen. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate. Tara, over to you.
Thank you, Ameen. Good thing about this community is we get to see so many people and meet so many people around the world. I mean, I met you because I just simply asked a question, isn't it? And you were there to answer, and you didn't know who I was. So, everyone's there inspiring and helping each other. Thank you so much, Ameen. I wish you all the very best. I can't wait to see you reaching all the milestones, and we are here to celebrate with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All
Hopefully,
the very best of
it will
you and
happen
your
soon.
family.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
it will
it
happen
will.
soon. Yeah. And thank you guys for your opportunity. And it was nice catching up with you guys. And stay safe and take care. We'll catch up another day.
Of course,
Yes.
definitely.
Thanks, Ameen.
Absolutely.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
See you later,
Bye-bye.
Ameen. Thank
Good
you.
night.
See you.
See you. Bye.
That's done.
You know, everyone, we've been speaking to so many people, and everyone's praised the community, isn't it? I mean, we've got 91 now, 91,000 people.
Yeah. Just
when
over
I
91.
joined 2 years ago, we only had 18,000.
Yeah.
And 2 years later, it's 91,000. So online is the place to be.
The number
Online is
itself
definitely the
speaks
place to
volumes.
be. Times have
Exactly.
changed. World
All
has
right.
changed.
So who has a motivational quote today?
Who has it? Tell me.
Who has it?
Who got the quote for the day?
I think it's Sevit.
Why me? I'm the assistant who pops into these interviews.
Since you're very... I'm sure you
Okay.
got something.
I
Pull out.
always have something. I always have something. Let's go with opportunities. Opportunities don't happen unless you create them. So let's create the chances that we do have. Let's create the opportunities that we do have, and let's make life better for ourselves and for our families. Yes, that's what I can say.
That's good.
So
Absolutely right.
Yeah, my question to you guys now is, every time I pop in, I'm giving you guys a quote. I need to hear some of your quotes as well, my friends. What's going
Watch
on?
the previous episodes and you will hear the quotes. Just keep watching.
Sarah being cheeky. See?
Thank you everyone for watching.